we had number 25 Nebraska, and they went on the road at Maryland. Now, this was another huge game for Maryland because it's like back-to-back weeks. It feels like they're kind of in a situation where it's like if they win, they'll be ranked, and they found a way to lose both. This one was a little less egregious. Last week, they were up by like 20 or something like that against Washington. Somehow found a way to lose. Washington's good, but Maryland really choked. And then now they come back at home and they lose to Nebraska by a field goal. Nebraska's pretty impressive. They did beat Cincinnati. It's a pretty solid win, but they lost to Michigan at home, which does look a lot worse now with how USC really housed them. I still think Nebraska is good, but I don't know how to feel about them long term, especially with that Michigan game where it felt like they were closer than they probably should have been. And then we're like, well, then how good is Michigan really? I still think Nebraska is good, but in terms of Big Ten schedules, it's not looking too great for Nebraska. It's like they host USC. They're on the road at UCLA, who's one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten. They're on the road at Penn State, which isn't great now. And then they're at home against Iowa, which is always kind of a 50-50 game for them, where it's like Nebraska is good. There's not anything super concerning other than USC. So Nebraska has a potential to win out. And I saw some people even had them in their projections for the playoffs, which I think that's a little crazy at the moment, but Nebraska is pretty solid, Jack, and I would be surprised if they lost too many of their games left, and it was a pretty impressive road performance against Maryland.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I mean, Maryland's still a good team. They just can't complete these games back-to-back
Right.
weeks. Nebraska is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is definitely like high-powered, and Matt Rule definitely has his squad like complete. This is the best they've looked since he's been there,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and they're this whole season they've looked great. I mean, Cincinnati, that win's looking better and better. The
Right.
Michigan game is concerning, especially how they played this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Michigan definitely has fallen off. I mean, they were close against Oklahoma on the road, so I think that loss isn't that bad.
Right.
This win is definitely looks very good. They were they were up early, and then Maryland came back, and they went up by 10, and then they came back late.
Right.
That's just heartbreaking for Maryland to lose 3 in back-to-back weeks. Really sucks for them.
Right.
And yeah, this is just very proves in the future. And I think they could win out.
Mm-hmm.
USC is looking like one of the best teams in the Big Ten, though. So that's definitely their only loss I see.
Right.
Maybe Iowa or UCLA.
Right.
But this is looking like maybe a dark horse for the playoff for sure.
Right. It's
I
very
don't see
yeah.
that, but yeah, this is a team to look out for sure.
Right. And feels like this season and past seasons, but this season especially, Maryland is kind of that team. They're kind of the Penn State of losing to teams on the brink of the top 25. Like Maryland is pretty solid. Like their quarterback, Washington, he's really balling out. I mean, 250, a touchdown. He's balling out every week. He had a great game against Washington, but it's like they can't finish these games for the life of them. It's like Nebraska scored 10 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Like that's crazy. Like Maryland just wasn't great, and Maryland did end up scoring 14-0 in the third quarter. Maryland started to take over. It felt like they were starting. They took the lead. They ended up putting up a pretty decent lead too, and Nebraska ended up coming back, and they couldn't do anything in that fourth quarter. Nebraska is pretty solid. Dalen Raiola, he had 4 touchdowns and 260 yards. He's pretty solid, but the interceptions really kept this game close too. That's part of it too, where it's like, yeah, they won by a field goal on the road and they had to score 10 unanswered points. It's like, well, did Maryland choke? Well, Raiola almost threw the game away with 3 interceptions. Like, there's a lot of things in college football where people say, like, your quarterback often loses you the game more than they win you the game. And that almost happened because it's very easy to throw the game away. And Raiola did, but still ended up finding a way to win, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those definitely could have been the reason why they lost. I mean, Maryland will make you pay for those. So it was interesting to see that they just complete these games. And these are 2 winnable games for them. They could easily be 6-0 right now.
Right.
Just was not the turning point. And Matt Rule in his post-game interview was like, Nebraska wins these close games, these big games now. We were like, it's
Right.
Maryland. But Maryland's not a horrible team. They're really not.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see more from Nebraska to really put them in that upper echelon of Big Ten teams and just teams in
Right.
general. But we'll see. I mean, with USC, that's going to be their biggest test down the road. but
Right.
this is very impressive to pull this one out, I think.
Right. And Rayola's definitely going to have to clean those picks up because going back to that North Texas game, Mestamaker, the QB for North Texas, threw 3 interceptions, and his team got 60 points hung on him. Like, it is very rare to throw 3 interceptions and still find a way to win the game. So Nebraska was very lucky, and I would be decently surprised if they managed to sneak into the playoffs. I think that is an interesting dark horse, and the remaining schedule isn't terrible. But honestly, do you think they get in as 11-1 Big Ten team that didn't play in their conference? Maybe. I don't know, Jack.
Don't see it really. It'll be interesting to see down the road. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't think this team is that good. If they really start
Right.
to click down the road and maybe blow out some teams like Minnesota or
Hmm.
Northwestern, we'll have to
Right.
see. But I could see them winning out.
Right.
But that's a tall order just because of how
Mhm.
USC has looked. So it could
Right.
happen, but I wouldn't project it at all.
Right. But if they were to win out, then they'd have wins against ranked USC, ranked Cincinnati, and being an 11-1 Big Ten team. That's pretty good. So very possible that Nebraska ends up finding their way into the playoffs. I would still doubt it. I don't know. I just don't think they're. I think they definitely deserve to be ranked. Don't get me wrong. I think they do. But I would just be very surprised if they snuck in there over some of those teams in the SEC that are either going to be 2 loss or 1 loss. The SEC is going to be such a dogfight, and they're really fighting to try and get to that SEC championship game because pretty much the 2 teams that make it to that game are going to be in the playoff, and then the rest of the other teams are just scrambling, trying to get in there. And we saw that last year where Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina were all on the brink and ended up all getting left out. Where it's like, we'll have to see because those were like a lot of 3 loss teams where it's like, are they going to get the benefit of the doubt over a 1 loss Nebraska? I don't know, but it's very possible actually that the Nebraska Cornhuskers, end up weaseling their way into the 12-team playoff.